Please stick with us for the last few minutes. Our last ask really is a call to action. Our first call to action, as Kosi mentioned, is to close St. Charles Youth Prison immediately. Not now, not next year, not in a couple years, not a couple years from then. We want the doors closed now. And so with close St. Charles, we want three things to happen, ideally. The first one, we don't want any more transfers into St. Charles. We don't want any more young people coming in. The second one is we want St. Charles to close within the next 90 days. We want the doors closed. We want the buildings gone. We want it all gone. And the third call to action is youth over the age of 18. We do not want to be transferred into any other youth facilities, or we don't want them to be transferred into IDOC. If there are things in place now from everything you have heard from this entire presentation, why wait? Why wait? We have the power to do it now. And first, I'll kind of go into our first demand of really closing St. Charles and halting all the transfers. We want immediate halt of all the transfers into St. Charles. Right now, there are currently young people, of course, in St. Charles. I'm not sure exactly amount, but I've done work in St. Charles, and there's about 30 to 40 young people that are currently there right now. And within all the 5 institutions, the numbers actually have gone up since the lowest population of about 97 youth that have been in all the institutions in general. So I say that to say that we need to immediately not have any more young people coming in, and we need to stop and halt it immediately. Next, we want to close St. Charles within the next 90 days. We want the doors closed. As I said, St. Charles was built over 100 years ago, 1904. The initial purpose of St. Charles was a boys' home. And, just walking, I've done work in St. Charles. I worked in St. Charles for a little under a year through circles and ciphers and did programming there. And, as you go through the pictures and you kind of see the conditions of what it looks like now, the first tour I went into was the only experience I needed myself to know that this isn't a place that someone should be in. You feel the energy and you feel the weight of everything that that place has to offer. There's old abandoned buildings. Majority of the buildings in that place are not being used currently. There are more abandoned buildings that are being used and kids are staying in cottages. Old cottages where young people are living in small quarters. Young people are growing fast, living in small quarters, in small cells with small common areas. We don't want any youth prisons. We don't want for that place to be replaced into another youth prison. We don't want it to be an adult prison. We don't want any more money being poured into rehabbing a place that's already decaying. We really want all those funds that we are using to be used for better things, such as restorative and community-oriented solutions. And then lastly, we don't want we don't want any young people being transferred into the adult jail, and including the population of young people that are currently in St. Charles. There are young people that were tried and sentenced as adults. So that means as they turn 18, they will be transferred into IDOC. This is ridiculous, and we are not accepting this, and no one else should have to accept this. These are children. They shouldn't be treated and sentenced as adults. Closing youth prisons doesn't mean we transfer anyone. That means we don't want any more young people in there. And I personally know young people right now who are dealing with this, who are, once they turn 18, they have to be transferred into IDOC. And I hope and pray for them every single day. I've gotten the pleasure to know approximately 40 to 50 young people in the work that I've done at St. Charles. And out of all those young people, I can honestly say there's not a soul that deserves to be in there. And a lot of people ask me, why? They made this mistake. This is where they should be. But the why is because I've heard the stories. I've been there. I've been able to sit with them. I hear their stories. I hear their dreams. I've shared laughs with them. I've shared pain with them. They are intelligent, bright, smart young men who made a mistake at a young age, and now they're being punished for it for the rest of their lives. So I say that to say that it's not okay and we must do better. So in this call to action, we want St. Charles Prison closed immediately. Um, so hashtag close St. Charles. So please, we are taking this extremely seriously, and we want you all to as well, because it doesn't only affect us and them that are incarcerated, but it affects everybody. And with that being said, I'll hand it over to Kosi to kind of bring us out.
Thank you so much, AnnMarie. So 2 minutes over. I'm going to be quick and bring us home. As our great audience and people committed to youth justice, we want to end by providing y'all with very tangible ways to plug in and support us as we make our first major leap as a campaign. First, be sure to follow us on social media to get updates on our campaign and to share and uplift our work and our updates. Then if you're a part of an organization that believes in our work and mission, please reach out to us to learn more about how your org can sign on and endorse our demands. And finally, next Thursday, we're hosting a youth orientation so we can include more youth from ages 16 to 24 into our work. Please reach out to us to refer any youth interested in prison abolition so we can get them involved, especially youth who have been formerly incarcerated or have family members, friends, so on and so forth, to which this issue is particularly important to them. And we'll send out a form for them and we will get it started. So again, thank you all so much for your time, so much for your attention, and so much for your care for this issue and for our campaign. And there's our email right there. I'll be sure to write it down, and thank you all so much.
I'm just going to cut in at the end here and say thank you so much for everybody who was able to bring this together. Thank you for all of our speakers. I know people have been thanked already, but I'm just going to pop in and say it again. Denzel for sharing about his experiences, AnnMarie for speaking on what it means to be a family member, Felipe for speaking on close to home, Kira for speaking on the needs of Central Illinois and the use of restorative justice, Bettina for and Liberation Library for their transformative justice work. Kosi and AnnMarie, you did such a fantastic job bringing us through this. Thank you so much. You were brilliant. Javion Jackson and Stephanie Coleman for helping with the planning of this event and for killing it on Twitter and Facebook throughout the event. Really appreciate y'all. Laura, so much, our tech extraordinaire, for making all of this possible. Everybody who signed, all of our partners who you saw during our intermission, including TASK, the Youth Correctional Leaders for Justice Steering Committee, Connecting RJ Communities, the Community Renewal Society, who's been really uplifting this event on social media, so I appreciate that. Circles and Ciphers, Liberation Library, especially Free Right Now. This event would not have been the same without all of the artistic contributions from the young people that they've been working with for years. So thank you. And finally, thank you to the McCormick Foundation for their financial support of this campaign and of this project. So thank you, everybody. And yeah, this is the end.